Welcome back, and today I'm going to be giving you a tour of the penthouse that I bought from all the millions that I earned by playing and teaching chess. Let's go.
Okay, now on a more serious note, I'm here in Panama City. I'm at a friend's apartment because in just a few hours, I'm going to be heading to the airport to travel to Colombia to play the tournaments that I talked about, so stay tuned for that. I wanted to address this weird comment that I got on my last video, which said, chess is only for rich people, you need to travel a lot. So first things first, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Of course, having money does give you an advantage. There's no doubt about that. If you have a lot of money, if you're rich, you can play all the tournaments you would ever like to play. You can get the top chess coaches, and of course, it will be much easier and much faster to make progress. But does this really mean that if you're not rich, if you don't have a lot of money, which is really my case, I promise you, I don't come from a rich family, I don't have a lot of money. Even so, I'm trying to make it work. So is that really the case? I would highly, highly disagree. Now, learning and training chess in itself outside of tournament play is so easy nowadays. And you can do it really pretty much for free. You can get to such a high level in terms of training. There is so many free resources out there in terms of YouTube videos, in terms of courses, in terms of books you can get. All the resources that are available, and if you do want to pay for them, it really doesn't cost a lot. There's so many courses you can get for a very good price. There's premium memberships on different websites which give you an unlimited amount of courses for $5 to $10 a month. And even let me give myself a shameless plug as well. If you want to work with me, I charge pretty affordable rates as well, so you can check out my website in the description of the video. But learning chess and increasing your level in chess really doesn't cost a lot of money. So let's address the point that this comment was actually making, which is that you need money to travel to play tournaments, which actually goes along with what I said before in a previous video, that the best way to improve at chess is in fact by playing events, by playing tournaments over the board, classical against strong opposition. Of course, that is very important. But let me talk about a few things. First of all, chess is merit-based. Chess is one of these games, one of these sports which is so completely objective. What do I mean by that? Well, we play a rated tournament, we get a rating. We win, our rating goes up. We lose, our rating goes down. It's completely 100% fair and merit-based. So, what's my first point? If you put in the work with the free resources that I just discussed, you are going to be able to improve and you are going to get a higher rating. Now, you might say you live in a country where there's not really many strong tournaments, those tournaments that you need to improve and so on. But let me tell you this, me personally, I also don't live in a country where there's a lot of tournaments. I live in Panama, and we don't really have any classical events. We have a few where the maximum rating is about, 2100. There's a few 2000s, and that's it. But here's the thing. When you're still improving, when you're about 1800, 1700, those tournaments are still good enough for you. You can play against 2000 rated players, 1900 rated players, and those are strong enough opponents for you to be able to improve. And here is a very interesting point that I want to make. Now, I understand there might still be some exceptions, and if you live in a completely rural area, then where you're hours and hours away from any kind of tournaments, then it will be more difficult. But even so, the point remains the same. If you live in a country where there's not much chess development, like myself in Panama, with the resources and with the free work that you can do that I just described previously, it is going to be enough to increase your level to a point like I have done, where you will become one of the best of your country. And that's what I managed to do, to travel to the Chess Olympiad, and that gave me a bunch of opportunities. I managed to become a CM and so on. Will it be easy? Of course not. To become one of the best players of your country, obviously you have to dedicate years of many hours every single day in order to improve and in order to be able to achieve this. But if you want to really take chess seriously and professionally, you have to do that anyway. There's no way around that. So if your point is that you can't become a professional by dedicating not so much time, then that of course is absolutely evident. That is true. And so the other side of this coin is that if you live in a country where you cannot become a member of the Olympic team, or you cannot become one of the best in your country simply by training yourself with all the free resources I described, but rather you have to be a GM or a very strong player, then chances are in your country there is going to be events that you can play with some strong players, exactly what you need in order to be able to improve. So the point is, if you live in a not very developed country like myself, you do have opportunities, and if you live in a very developed country where there is a lot of chess, you have other kinds of opportunities in terms of becoming even stronger faster because of the fact that there are strong events which you are going to be able to play. So then, maybe the point that this person was actually trying to make is that in order to really become an IM, a GM, once you're already at a very high level, such as 22, 2300, which I really believe anyone can become in any way, how do you continue improving after that if you need money to play in these stronger events where you do actually need to travel quite far? Well, once you're already at a high level, first of all, you have to make so many sacrifices anyway. It's not easy to become a strong player, but it is realistic pretty much for anybody. You have to put in so much time and so much effort that are you really telling me that you have no way to dedicate some of that time and some of that effort in order to generate just enough of an income in order to become a professional? Well, me personally, I think no. I've done it myself. I am teaching chess. It does help me generate some money, and that's pretty much all I have in order to be able to play these tournaments. Am I traveling and sleeping in 5-star hotels? Absolutely not. I'm booking the cheapest Airbnb I can find, and I'm trying to play those tournaments that don't cost that much to play, yet still give me the opportunities to keep improving. But if you're already a 22 or 2300 or 2100 like myself player, you can definitely use chess to monetize yourself in order to generate an income. Most people do it by coaching, and then you can use that money in order to play more tournaments. Is it an easy life? Are you better off choosing another professional career? Are you better off just forgetting about chess professionally and simply taking it as a hobby and not trying to do it seriously? That's all up to you. Me personally, I want to sacrifice everything I possibly can in order to become a professional, so I'm going to take this hard route. It doesn't mean you have to, but if you really want to, I don't think this fact that you don't have that much money is really an excuse for you to stop. If you want to make excuses in order to not improve your chess, then do you really want to improve your chess? This applies now more to anything else of life, which is if you really want to make something happen, excuses aren't going to help you. You have to make sacrifices, and if you're willing to make those sacrifices, then chess is definitely for you. Now, I didn't manage to say everything that I wanted, but I sort of covered the bases. If you disagree with me on something that I already said in this video, you're absolutely welcome to leave it down in the comments, your opinion. I will check it out. I will answer to all of your comments, and I really do want to hear what your opinion is. Anyway, I have to get to the airport. My flight is in about 2 hours, so I'm already pretty late, and I'll see you in Colombia with recaps of every single tournament game. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. Goodbye.